This has been the most asked question. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be answering all of your questions about UCLA. I recently asked you guys to ask me all your questions, whether it's academic, social, living at UCLA, all of the above, and you guys definitely came through with your questions. So yeah, this video I'll just be answering them, and I hope that it helps you guys out. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below for more. I also have a ton of different UCLA videos on my channel, so don't forget to check those out once you're done watching this video. And without further ado, let's get on to your questions. The first question is, what meal plan would you recommend, and is the premium plan worth it? So first, for those of you who don't know what the premium plan is, basically there's a bunch of different meal plan options. So for example, there's like 14 and then there's 14p. The P stands for premium, and then there's 19 and then there's 19p. The number represents how many swipes you have per week. So if you have the 14 meal plan, then you have 14 swipes per week, which averages to 2 swipes per day. The premium meal plan allows you to swipe twice within one meal period. So the meal periods are like your typical breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For example, I believe lunch is from like 11 to 4 or something like that, like those hours. So if you don't have a premium plan, that means you can only swipe in once during 11 to 4. Whereas if you do have a premium plan, then you can swipe however many times you want. So the benefits of having a premium plan is that you can swipe in multiple times. So that means you can swipe in a friend, family member, or let's say you're at a to-go place and you want to grab a dinner for later and it's the lunch period, you can grab your lunch and dinner at the same time. I have the 14p meal plan and I really like that. I would typically make breakfast by myself in my dorm room, like I had a microwave and fridge. So the averaging of 2 meals per day for the 14p meal plan was perfect, and then I really like that I had the flexibility of swiping in multiple times during one meal period. From what I've seen, I think most people have either a 14 or a 14p meal plan. All the people that I know who have a 19 or 19p meal plan always talk about how they have a ton of extra swipes at the end of the quarter, and the swipes expire at the end of the quarter, so they don't roll over to the next quarter. So you don't want to be spending your money on swipes that you know you're not going to use. So yes, for the most part, I would say a majority of freshmen either choose the 14 or 14p meal plan. The next question is, how many classes should I take, and when do I sign up for my fall quarter classes? Throughout my entire freshman year, I took 3 classes every quarter, and I would say for the most part, most freshmen take 3 classes every quarter. I know some who will take a 4th one, or maybe like 3 classes in a lab. I mean, technically, I took 3 classes in a lab my fall quarter, but the lab was so chill that I wouldn't even count it as anything. For the most part, yes, I would go with 3 classes because you don't want to overwhelm yourself too much. And even though 3 classes might seem like a small amount, college is definitely different than high school. Like in high school, you might have taken 5 to 7 classes every day. Like, yeah, no, that's definitely not a thing in college. The workload is very different, so I would recommend taking 3 classes. And in terms of how you sign up for your fall quarter classes, all the new students go to a new student orientation over the summer, and this orientation is honestly one of my best memories. It's an opportunity to meet new people. You're going to be living in the dorms for the first time, eating the on-campus food, and this is where you get all the information about any courses you need to take, what courses are required for your major. There are a ton of different workshops that you attend throughout the day. I believe the orientation is 3 days and 2 nights, but yes, definitely look forward to it. I really enjoyed my orientation, and some of my best friends today are people that I met during my orientation. During this orientation, you will have an NSA, which stands for New Student Advisor, and they will give you all the recommendations you need for what classes you should take, and they'll help walk you through the process and give you a basic rundown of what your course load will look like that year. Should I get a room with air conditioning? Personally, I had a room with air conditioning and I really liked it, but honestly, I wouldn't say it's a huge necessity or anything like that. A lot of my friends had rooms that didn't have air conditioning and they didn't really find it to be that much of a problem. If you don't have air conditioning, what a lot of people will do is just buy like small fans to keep in their room. And pro tip, if you want to keep your room cool, just close the blinds in front of the window every time you're not in the room, so that way the heat from the sunlight won't come in and heat up the room, and that should keep the room pretty cool. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's a necessity. If you don't want to pay the extra for AC, you really don't have to. What type of dorm do you have? I actually have a video all about my dorm, and I give you a tour of what my dorm room looks like and give you a little explanation of Hedrick Summit, which is where I was living. There's a bunch of different dorming housing options, so I go through all of that in that video. I'll make sure to link it down below, but you can go to my channel as well, and it's just my UCLA Hedrick Summit dorm tour. But I actually lived in a single, which I personally really liked. It is the single plaza suites, but basically how the layout is there are 5 different singles and you guys share 1 bathroom. So in that way it's kind of like a suite, but it's really more, I would just consider it a single room, because the only time you would really bump into your roommates or your suite mates is in the bathroom. And even then I barely bumped into my suite mates in the bathroom. So yeah, I would very much consider it a single. And if you're wondering why I got a single room, you can check out my video. I explain it all there. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about dorming, I can definitely answer them if you just leave them in the comments below or message me. I didn't move into a single room until I would say like 2 months into the quarter. So for the first couple months I lived in a triple with a private bathroom. So that means it was a room with 3 people and then we had our own private bathroom in the room. But yeah, even though I only lived in those 2 different dorming options, I have friends who have lived in all the different kinds of dorming styles, and I've been to their rooms and I've kind of gotten a feel of what the different options are like. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will definitely get back to you on that. Is it hard to get a single room as a freshman? And also, do you have a kitchen? So I'm going to be completely honest, yes, it is really hard to get a single room. I honestly just got really lucky, and as I said, I had to wait a couple months in order to make that switch. I did not expect that a single room would open up, let alone I would be able to get it. But you know, one day I called housing and they were like, hey, like one opened up. So I was able to move in, but I had to be pretty proactive about it and repeatedly ask housing whether there's an availability. So I guess that helped in a sense, but yes, it is pretty hard to get a single as a freshman. I honestly don't know that many other freshmen that have singles. Most of the time it's either sophomores or juniors. And then in terms of do you have a kitchen? No, you don't have a kitchen in the single suites. It's just like any other dorm room. Most dorms don't have kitchens. You do have the option of renting out a microwave and a fridge, or you can just bring your own microwave or fridge. There is one dorm building though called Hitch, and there's a kitchen in that building. It's actually called the Hitchin, which I think is kind of cute, and anyone living on the hill is free to use it, but you have to sign up and like reserve a spot beforehand. People don't usually use it to cook that often. It's more of a thing where if you want to like bake cookies with a friend, then you'll just go and like reserve the room. But for the most part, most people will get their food from the dining halls. Okay, this is the most asked question. What is a website where you can find easy classes? This question is in response to a video I posted recently about all the easy classes I was taking and how there's a website where you can find all the easy classes and all the professors are rated. So that website is called Bruinwalk. You just look up bruinwalk.com, and this website is a lifesaver when it comes to enrolling in classes. Literally everyone uses it. It has all the classes that UCLA offers as well as the professors, and it ranks each class by its difficulty, how much work you have, and people just generally will leave reviews of the professor, the class, whether they recommend it or not, and like what grade they got in it. And adding on to that, the next question is, what classes do you recommend / what were the easy classes that you took? So there's 2 different categories of classes you take. There are your major courses and then there are your GE courses. The GEs are the general education requirements, and everyone's required to take these. So that's like your English, writing, history, language, stuff like that. So if I were you, and what I'm doing is I'm taking the easiest GEs I can find, because why take a hard class when you don't need to? And also because the courses for your major are ones that you can't choose, like there are specific courses that you're required to take. And at least for my major, I'm a business economics major, there are a couple of classes in there that are known to be difficult, so I want to be able to cushion my GPA as much as I can by making my GEs those easy courses so that, you know, they can help cushion my GPA so that if I don't do well in my major courses, it won't be super impacted. So I can't make recommendations in terms of your major courses because those are just set for you already. But in terms of GEs, the easy classes that I took were Decima 8. That is a Design Media Histories class. Literally slept through every lecture. And the midterm and final were both take-home essays, so that was very chill. Another class that I took that was really easy was CESC 50SL. That class is called the Engaging Los Angeles class, and basically you just learn about Los Angeles and its history. That class is a little bit time-consuming, I would say, because you're required to do a few hours of community service every week, But other than that, you just had a few essays here and there, and the class in general was really chill, and personally I liked being able to go off campus and do those community service hours, so that class I would recommend. I'm only a first year at UCLA, so I haven't taken a ton of classes. Most of the other classes I've taken are courses required for my major, but I do have some GE recommendations from my friends. So a lot of my friends said that Poli-Sci 10 is really easy. That's a political science class. Phi-Sci 5, which is a class on diet and exercise. Asia Am 10, which is an Asian American history class. Any of the film classes, which the film classes are pretty long. Like some of them are 3 to 4 hours because you're literally watching a movie, but I mean, it's chill because you're watching a movie. And then lastly, UCLA is notorious for their easy Scandinavian classes. Yes, I know it sounds super random, like why would I take Scandinavian if I'm not interested in the language? But it's not just the language classes, like there are Scandinavian history classes, Scandinavian literature or something like that. Yeah, there are a ton of different Scandinavian classes, and they're known to be really easy, and everyone wants to take them. So if you're able to sign up for those classes, like I would get them because they fill up really quick. Do you have to dorm on the hill in order to eat at the dining halls? No, you don't have to be living in the dorms if you want to eat in the dining halls. You can get a non-resident meal plan, or you could also just pay every time you eat at the dining halls, just like pay per meal. Is it easy to switch rooms? I would say that depends on what room you're trying to switch into. So if you're trying to switch into a room with really high demand, obviously that's going to be a lot harder than if you're trying to switch into a room with less demand. But basically how it works is you go into your housing portal. Once you sign up and you become a student at UCLA, you have a portal where all your housing info is, like all the payments and stuff. So you can go into your housing portal and request a room switch. Also, every quarter, UCLA Housing will host a night called Room Swap Night. And this is basically a night where anyone who's looking to switch rooms all gathers up in one room, and you guys just talk and mingle and figure out, you know, like what rooms other people are trying to look for. And you look for someone who is able to make a switch with you, so you guys mutually want each other's like current rooms. And then you guys go to housing together and they help you make that switch. So if you're looking to switch rooms, I would first go onto your housing portal and then request a room switch. And then second, I would make sure to go to those room swap nights because that's where you can talk to people face to face and really just get the process done like in one night. What is sorority recruitment like, and would you recommend rushing? I'm planning on making a video actually all about sororities and recruitment and what it's like to be in Greek life. So if you guys are interested in that video, definitely let me know and I would love to make that video. If you didn't know, I am in a sorority. I rushed the fall of my freshman year, so I can definitely make a whole video about this. But to answer your question in terms of whether you should rush or not, I say you should definitely give it a try. It's a really great opportunity to meet new people and get all your questions answered about what being a sorority is like. Sorority recruitment at UCLA is during 0 week, so that very first week. And if you find during any time that week that you feel like it's not a fit for you and that you don't want to continue with recruitment and you don't want to join a sorority, you can drop out anytime. So I say, like, you know, why not try it out, see what it's like, give it a chance, and if you find that you don't like it, you can just drop before the end of the week. I'm choosing between a school with a semester system versus UCLA, which has a quarter system. Which one would you recommend? Okay, so I would say that this depends on your learning style. I go into the pros and cons of the quarter system and the things I wish I knew about UCLA video, so I will make sure to link that below, or you can definitely check that out on my channel. I would say the main thing that I don't like about the quarter system is that it is very fast. Each quarter is made up of 10 weeks, and within those 10 weeks you have a midterm and a final for every class. Some classes have 2 midterms, so it can feel kind of rushed and sometimes overwhelming because it feels like you have a midterm or final like next week, or just like, you know, right around the corner. So I didn't like that part of the quarter system, but a pro of your midterms and finals being so close together is that you really retain the info and you don't have that much of a break between them, so you don't have to study as much, I would say, as if you're in a semester system. Honestly, from my perspective, I wouldn't choose a college just based on solely whether it's a quarter system or a semester system, because I truly think the pros and the cons each really balance each other out. Instead, I would much more recommend that you compare the programs that you're going into and comparing, you know, which one is stronger than the other over which one has like a quarter or semester system. Is it hard to become a brand ambassador? This question was in response to a video where I talked about my position as a Maybelline College ambassador. So my answer to this question is it depends on what position or like what brand you're looking to be an ambassador for. Some brands are going to be easier to apply for and get positions at than other brands. The current position I have is a Maybelline College ambassador. If I'm gonna be honest, the application process was pretty rigorous and I did not think I would get the position at all. But there are other brands that are a lot easier to get positions at. So for example, I've also worked with Conair through her Campus Trendsetters program, and that was pretty easy. I just gave my name, some basic info about me, like my Instagram handle, and then I got noticed pretty quickly that I would be able to be ambassador for them. So yes, it really depends on the company. I got the Maybelline ambassador position through a marketing agency, while other brand ambassadorships that I've gotten have been through different clubs. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, I would definitely recommend you check out the club Her Campus. There are a number of different Her Campus chapters at all different colleges, but actually UCLA's Her Campus is pretty cool because we are part of an elite chapter. So it's through Her Campus that I got the opportunity to work with Conair, and I know people who have also worked with RX bars and other makeup companies. Alright, and then last question is, are there a lot of research opportunities? I'm a business economics major, so I can't speak too much about research opportunities, but what I've heard from my friends and older students is that yes, there's definitely research opportunities, but you do have to be proactive about it and go out of your way to meet the professor and like introduce yourself and really put yourself out there. With UCLA being such a big school, each professor has hundreds of students. So if you're gonna, want to work with a professor, you really have to make sure that you go to their office hours, that you talk to them before or after class, and that you just make yourself well known to them so that when you do ask them for a research position, they know who you are and they have some background about you, because if you just go up to a professor and you're like, hey, I want to do research with you, and they have no idea who you are, chances are they're not going to be that excited to work with you. But if you establish that good relationship, then yes, I would definitely say that you have a good chance of getting different research opportunities. Alright, so that is the end of the video. I really hope this helped you guys out and answered your guys' questions. If you have any other questions, definitely feel free to leave them in the comments below. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. As I said earlier, I have a ton of different UCLA videos, so I would love if you could check those out. And yeah, until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye!